Who would have thought a simple tune could silence a room full of laughter? Before you scroll, listen to this, because what happened next left an entire mansion speechless, and you'll want to stay till the very end. And hey, if stories of courage, heart, and unexpected triumph move you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because what you're about to hear might just restore your faith in quiet heroes. It started on a cold evening in a lavish estate nestled in the heart of the city. The ballroom shimmered under chandeliers, the tables glistened with golden rims, and the laughter of the wealthy echoed across marble floors. Among the crowd, dressed in a modest old suit, stood a single dad, a veteran named Jack Monroe. He wasn't there to impress. He was there because he needed the paycheck. After serving his country for years and losing everything except his little daughter, Emily, life had reduced him from a decorated soldier to a man taking odd jobs, just trying to keep the lights on. Jack was there as a hired helper, serving drinks and helping clean up after the party. His hands were steady, his demeanor quiet, his eyes kind, but behind that calm lay a storm of memories. Comrades lost, a life once full of honor, and a dream buried long ago, the dream of music. Once, before war, he was a pianist, an artist whose melodies could move even the coldest heart. But life had demanded duty, and his piano keys were replaced with battlefields. As the night wore on, the host of the event, Mr. Roland Pierce, a rich and arrogant businessman, noticed Jack's quiet presence. Roland loved to flaunt his wealth, and nothing pleased him more than reminding those he deemed lesser of their place. He nudged his guests and smirked. "Look at him," he whispered. "Probably never even touched a piano, yet here he is in a room full of art and grace. Let's give him a real show." Laughter followed. They called Jack over. He hesitated but approached, humble as always. "Tell me, soldier," Roland sneered, "ever played something more delicate than a trigger?" The guests chuckled cruelly. Jack stood still, eyes steady. "A long time ago," he said softly. "Oh really?" Roland taunted. "Well, we've got a grand piano right there. Why don't you play us a tune? Show us what the military taught you about art." The laughter rose again. Jack glanced toward the piano, an elegant, gleaming instrument in the corner of the hall. His heart tightened. The memories came rushing back, his late wife, Lily, who used to sit beside him as he played lullabies for their baby girl. That piano was once his language of love, his voice of hope. He hadn't touched a key since the war. Roland crossed his arms. "What's wrong? Afraid to make a fool of yourself?" Jack's jaw tensed. He looked toward Emily, sitting quietly near the back, her small eyes filled with both worry and trust. That look gave him strength. "No, sir," he said gently. "I'm not afraid." He walked slowly to the piano. The room fell into an uneasy silence. Guests smirked, expecting a clumsy display. But as Jack sat down, he rolled up his sleeves, and that's when they saw it. A tattoo inked across his forearm, delicate, intricate, piano keys wrapped around musical notes, with a small inscription beneath, "Harmony in Chaos." Roland frowned. "What's that supposed to mean?" Jack didn't answer. His fingers rested on the keys, trembling for a moment, then, they moved. What came next, no one expected. The first notes flowed like a whisper from heaven, soft, sorrowful, filled with depth. It was a melody born of heartbreak and healing, of love lost and courage regained. Each chord carried a story, his wife's laughter, his daughter's tears, the sound of home he once knew. The grand hall, once filled with mockery, now stood frozen. Glasses stopped midair. Conversations halted. Even Roland, smug and self-assured, couldn't move. The music swelled, weaving through emotions too raw for words. It was as if the piano itself had waited years for his touch, aching to sing again. Emily watched her father with tears streaming down her cheeks, whispering, "That's my daddy." When the final note lingered and faded into silence, no one dared breathe. Then, applause erupted. Not the polite kind, but the kind that shakes walls and hearts. People rose to their feet, tears glistening, eyes wide with awe. In that instant, the hired help was no longer invisible. He was a man reborn, a father, a veteran, an artist. Roland stood speechless, face pale. His mockery had turned to shame. He stepped forward, muttering, I didn't know." Jack rose quietly. "No, you didn't need to," he said softly. "Respect doesn't come from knowing someone's story. It comes from treating them with kindness even when you don't." He turned to leave, taking Emily's small hand in his. But before he could go, an elderly woman from the crowd, famous pianist and music philanthropist, Eleanor Grace, approached him. Her eyes glowed with recognition. You're Jack Monroe. The prodigy who disappeared before the war. Jack nodded, humbled. That was a lifetime ago. She smiled warmly. Maybe it's time to bring that lifetime back. In that moment, everything changed. Eleanor offered him a chance to return to music, not as a performer for the rich, but as a teacher for children who'd lost hope, much like he once did. His story spread, the veteran with the music tattoo, the man who turned mockery into melody. Weeks later, Jack stood in a small music school, surrounded by eager faces and his daughter at his side. Life was still hard, but it was filled with purpose again. The world had laughed at him, but his song had silenced them, not with pride, but with grace.